Earlier today, Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner decided it would be an amazing idea to talk to the media, and it went as good as you would expect. What's going on, guys? It's the King of 161st Street. I'm back with another video, and I'm going to start with Brian Cashman's comments first because I have a lot of thoughts to say about him. So, when asked about this 2023 season, Brian Cashman responded, "I'm proud of our people and I'm proud of our process. Doesn't mean we're firing on all cylinders, doesn't mean we're best in class, but I think we're pretty fucking good, personally. I'm proud of our people, and I'm also proud looking forward to 24 being a better year than 23. What this quote tells me is that that audit that they were talking about doing on their analytics department was a fucking lie. They lied to us. We're gonna have another company audit the Yankees, and they're gonna tell us where we went wrong. Hearing what Brian Cashman just said, he's basically saying, look, you guys just gonna have to suck it up because I think this is pretty fucking good. And to play both sides, because there is another side to this. It's a wrong side, but there is another side. Not a lot of teams could say in the last 30 years, 82-80 is their worst record as a team. There's not a lot of teams, not even Houston can say that. That's all fine and dandy. And look, if we compared ourselves to other teams, yeah, we are pretty fucking good. But we don't do that. Why? Because we should be above that. We have 27 world championships. We are the best organization in sports. This is not the time to be comparing ourselves to teams like the Cincinnati Reds or the New York Mets or Tampa Bay. This is not a time to be comparing ourselves to them. We should be better than that. And if we do compare ourselves to them, yeah, we're head and shoulders above them because we should. And even in that, we still haven't won shit in 14 years. Brian Cashman has been in office for about 30 years. You know how many World Series teams he's actually built? One. And that was 2009. Because the World Series he won in the 90s, Gene Michael built that team. He just kind of rode the coattails of that team up until a lot of the players left. Then in 2009, yes, he got the Sabathia piece. He got the Teixeira piece, Hideki Matsui. He built a lineup that won a World Series. That is the last time he did it, and that was the only time he did it. Ever since then, he's been living off this reputation that he's a championship manager because he technically has won like 4 championships. He's only built one, and even then, you're still building it based on the core 4, which wasn't even him. Brian Cashman, if you really wanted to talk shit about him, you might be wrong, but you could make an argument that he really hasn't done shit as a general manager here. He's been riding the coattails of Gene Michael, and then once Gene Michael's work left, meaning the core 4 got old and retired, he's done for. He hasn't done shit since. Only thing he's done is sign Garrett Cole, which was the biggest gimme of all time. And he still almost fucked that up. He re-signed Aaron Judge. Again, a big gimme because he wanted to be here, and you still almost fucked it up. That's all you've done as a general manager here. So I'm sick of them saying he's got this grand reputation because of the championships he's won. To me, he's won 1 championship. And since then, he hasn't even really tried. Maybe we should have won in 2017. Maybe we should have won in 2019. But again, lefty depth and just lack of great roster construction kept us from doing it. We've gotten somewhat close. We've made it to the championship series in a lot of these years. We can't get over the hump because we're not building as good of a team as the Houston Astros, as at times the Boston Red Sox. These teams are starting to catch up to us. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be. So to hear that from Brian Cashman is disheartening because that kind of tells me we ain't gonna do shit in this offseason. We need a lot of pieces. I had my breakdown of what my ideal offseason was, and I even said it in there. Do I think that it was realistic? No. Why? Because of Brian Cashman. If we go to Hal Steinbrenner, he tells a completely different story. He said that going above 500 should not be something that should be celebrated, That should be a requirement. Finally, he's reacting the way we do. He's finally seeing it from our point of view. He said we're going to be active. Now, he has said this in the past about off seasons where we're going to be active this off season and then didn't do jack shit. So take that one with a grain of salt. Hal Steinbrenner really sounded like he's tired of the bullshit. And that's where I get very confused here. Because on one end, you got a general manager that is defending his guys and saying, we got the crew that's going to get it done. And then you got Hal over here that's saying, no, we got to shake things up because what we're doing right now, it ain't fucking working. I appreciate what Hal is doing, but unless he has the balls to say, Brian, we have been friends for how many years? This shouldn't affect our friendship, but you're gone. You're not doing a good job as a Yankees general manager. Then I don't know what's going to change. Brian Cashman doesn't seem like he's too keen on making a huge splash. He thinks that there were too many factors that happened this past season that caused us to miss the playoffs, and that without those factors, we should have possibly won. Well, part of that is your fault. You built a semi-injury prone roster. Yes, we shouldn't have expected an Aaron Judge running into the wall to affect our season the way it did. But you also have a Stanton that's on a huge contract. You did trade for Donaldson for Gio Urshela. So to blame the extra factors on why we didn't make the playoffs, that really lies on you and you only. Because without that, like Gio Urshela, he probably could still be succeeding here. And you know what? Maybe he doesn't. But we would never know if it wasn't for this trade. You know what it would have also done? It would have freed up $50 million. $50 million we could have thrown into the last few free agencies. Gio Urshela is no Josh Donaldson. Well, Gio Urshela and Josh Donaldson were pretty fucking comparable the last 2 years. If we're looking at the shit he's done, he hasn't really done anything that fully improves this roster. The problem I have with it is that it's all out there. Like, it's easy to think about. We got a short porch in right field. You know what we should do? Get lefty bats. You know who's a lefty bat that should be available? Juan Soto. I know that they said they want to keep him around, but a team that's already coming off of money issues, now coming on a player with the last year of his deal, I don't know how they're going to swing this, because they have to pay the Manny Machado money. They have to pay the Jake Cronenworth money, unless we take that on. But again, until that happens, if we don't take that on and get Juan Soto, they're still paying that fucking money. You have the Xander Bogaerts contract. They already have money issues. They had to take out a loan to pay out these players' contracts. You could get Juan Soto right now if you sweeten that package. You could go out and just get lefty bats. There's Cody Bellinger out there, Jock Peterson, Christian Yelich. These guys that aren't that expensive. I mean, Bellinger looks like he'll be expensive, but the other guys, not that expensive, yet lefty bats that can destroy that right field fence. How come we've been building around right-handed batters when we have a left-handed ballpark? It feels like incompetence, but it also feels like willful ignorance when it comes to Brian Cashman. It's almost like he's mocking us. Don LaGreca was bringing that up on the Yes Network. It seems like he's mocking us. Basically like, yeah, it's not going to affect me in any way. So I'm going to defend this until the shit burns. He's mocking us. He's making a mockery of the New York Yankees. If you're Hal Steinbrenner, until you have the balls to say, fuck you, get the fuck out of my office, this team may not win another World Series till then. Anyways, I just lost a little hope for this free agency, but hopefully Hal Steinbrenner saves the day. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. If you're new here, hit that sub button. I'm glad you wasted a little bit of time with me, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.